Hey everybody, Catherine here from Enchanted Invitations. Today we are going to learn how to make a burlap wreath. I have some nice burlap here, and it's been a while since I've done a wreath. I've kind of been on a blanket kick, so I'm going to do that with you guys today. And I just wanted to say before I get started, I'm exhausted, so bear with me here. I now have a 4-year-old daughter, a 2-year-old daughter, and a 10-week-old puppy. This here is Hans. He's a miniature schnauzer, and he is just the cutest little guy ever. But between all that stuff going on and my full-time job, I'm tired. So bear with me, and let's get started. Thanks. All right, here we are. The first thing that we have to go over is our materials. So the first thing that you're going to want to have for this burlap wreath that we're making is a wreath frame. I have this one right here. Actually, I just got it from the dollar store for $1. It's always nice to get these wreath frames for $1 because a lot of times when you go to like Michael's or Joann Fabrics, there's something that can be a lot more than $1, up to like $6 or $7 even. So check the dollar store for these nice just metal wire wreath frames. Mine is a 14-inch, so that's a pretty good size. It's not going to be too big. And then the next thing you're going to want for a burlap wreath, obviously, is some burlap. Now, I got this particular burlap at Hobby Lobby, actually. It was $5.99 for, it's a 6-inch by 5-yard. So I actually got it for half off each of these. And I have 6 of these 6-inch by 5-yard burlap pieces. I really am not sure exactly how many it's going to take. It probably depends on how tightly I push my burlap rolls together here. So I have 6 of them just to be safe. And it's a metallic burlap, so that's just a normal burlap. And then I don't know if you can see it that well, but there's just little silver flecks woven into it as well. So like I said, I have 6 of those. The other thing that I have here is some twine to just secure it to my posts as I'm wrapping it around. I'm going to kind of just tie it to these posts here so that I can make sure that it's on there pretty sturdy. And then the other thing I have, because I have different pieces of burlap here that I'm going to need to attach together, is I have my handy dandy little glue gun there. So that's all the materials you need, and the next thing that we're going to do is just jump right on in. So since I already have my first piece of burlap ready, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. I actually have my phone sitting on top of a banana right now, so I'm going to take it off the banana so that you can worry about my hands more than my face. So I'm starting with this piece of burlap right here, and what I have done actually is I've just come up from underneath the wire frame, and I've chosen this inside ring here, and I'm just pushing the burlap up through the first ring, folding it over, and I'm just going to glue it to itself. And that's going to help us make sure that the burlap stays tightly affixed. So I'm just putting a line of glue all the way down my piece of burlap here, and I'm going to quickly fold it and stick it to itself. Perhaps not quickly enough. Like I said, I am moving a little bit slow right now. I've got my kids and now my puppy. We've had him for 2 weeks now, and he is doing a lot better than he was, but still sleeps about the same as a 1-year-old kid, which I guess is more or less equivalent of what he is now in dog years. So now that I have this, you can kind of see here my burlap is just glued to itself. So it is stuck to the ring and it's not going anywhere. Give that just a second to dry here. And it looks like it's pretty much cooled off by now. I'm just squeezing it together a little bit more to make sure it stays. And I'm just going to push the burlap through the ring until I have, it really just depends on how fluffy you want your wreath, but I'm going to give it maybe 1.5 inches to 2 inches sticking out. And that would be not total. Probably total would be more like 3 to 4 inches in the loop, but 1.5 to 2 inches sticking up like that. And then I'm just going to fold it over a little bit and go to my next ring here. So my next open ring, I'm going to go push the burlap through. to the same height that I pushed the first one. So now you can see here I have 2 loops. I'm going to go to the next one and do the same thing. So by the time I get through all the rings here, I should have 3 pieces of burlap sticking up to the same height here, and that is my first set. So the next thing, if you can kind of see that they're all just sticking up like that, I am going to take them and shove them up towards the first post. Now that there's a little bit more space here, I'm going to take the burlap in the back, twist it, make sure it's facing the right direction again. I'm going to come down to my first ring again, and I'm going to push it up to about the same height as I did that first row. And I'm just going to keep basically doing, whoops, I have it switched inside out. Like I said, guys, tired. Okay, so try this again. There we go. I'm gonna, good gracious. There we go. This burlap is kind of hard to tell which direction it's facing, but it's kind of important to make sure that it's all facing the same direction because, you know, it has the silver flecks, so you can tell. So I'm just pushing them through my 3 rings again. Each one should be about the same height. And it does take a little bit of getting used to. I haven't done one of these in a little while. Like I said, I've been on a blanket kick. So it takes a little bit of getting used to. I have my 3 rows of burlap again. I'm going to shove them to the side. And it's kind of up to you how tightly you want to push them together. You can kind of see my wreath starting to form there. I think I'm going to try for 3 rows of burlap in each of my little sections of my wreath here. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I know which side I'm pushing through. Twist. All right, good deal. Then I'm going to pull it through again and do one more time in this section. Here we go. And then I'm just going to take it and push it through the next one. And honestly, the first part is the hardest because after that, everything kind of starts to stick into place as the wreath gets fuller. So you don't have to struggle quite as much. As you can see, I'm already having an easier time with it here because the burlap that's already in place kind of just holds everything still. So I have my 3 rows again there, and what I'm going to do, because I already pushed them to the side, is I'm just going to spread them all out here in this section. So if you see, there is my first section, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it to the post so that nothing moves. Going to give it a little bit of a twist here where I stopped off, and then I'm going to take my twine. So I'm right here at this post here. I gave it a little bit of a twist, and now I just need to tie it right on there. So I'm going to take my twine here. It's just normal barn twine, actually. I didn't even get it at a craft store. I think I got it at Tractor Supply or something, but I'm just going to cut a little piece, maybe 5 or 6 inches long. I'm going to shove it through my post here where I left off, and I am literally just going to tie that burlap right onto that post so that I have it kind of secured before I move on to the next section. It just helps to prevent slippage and make sure that everything stays in place on your beautiful wreath. I'm going to give it like 2 or 3 knots here, pull it nice and tight. I'll do one more knot. All right, so if you can kind of see there, what I just did was I have this post right here that cuts off the section. I just wrapped the twine around it, and the twine is nice because it kind of blends into the burlap, but I'm going to go ahead now that I have this extra, whoopsie, and I'm going to go cut off the extra. And that's it. And now I'm just going to keep going. And when I run to the end of my burlap, all I'm going to do is take my hot glue gun and I'm going to glue the end of this burlap piece to an end on this burlap piece. And I'm just going to keep going. And that is how I'm going to get my whole wreath. So I will finish this off so you guys can see the end product. And then we can regroup then. All right, everyone. Hi. Here's my wreath in all of its final glory. I kind of got a little bit overzealous when I was doing it. I finished the whole thing. I had meant to show you guys a video of me putting these flowers on, but sorry, I got excited. So as you can see here, I'm going to just do this so you guys can look at what I'm seeing. We started off with this upper section right here, and I just showed you guys the one section that I did. I did exactly the same thing in every other section. So I think that there were 6 total sections on the wreath, and I did exactly the same thing, basically just weaving the burlap in and out through the wire frames. Push up, and then push up in the next one, and push up in the third one. Shove those over, push up all 3 again. Shove those over, push up all 3 again. I have found that it usually takes 3 sections of burlap in each wire section on the wreath. And then the next thing I did was add these beautiful flowers in. So I got these flowers at Hobby Lobby. I just got 2 different bouquets. I got the blue one and I got the, I'm not really sure what you would call that, orange or coral, but I got both of those bouquets. And how I attach those on, let's see if I can even find an example here for you guys. I did it really well, so I probably won't be able to dig in there. But basically what I did was I left them on their stems. So each flower has a long stem, and the stems were like this plastic empty tubing, not like the hard stems. So I just wrapped each tube of the stem around the wire frame, and I kind of just wrapped them all, and I tied them off with twine, just the twine that I was using to tie my burlap. I also used that twine to affix the flowers. So I just wrapped a few around the wire of the wreath frame, and I tied them together with twine. And I did that with all the flowers, and then I just kind of tied them to each other to fix them to each other so they would stay. And the last thing I did was took my hot glue gun, glued some of the flower petals together so that they stay nice and put like this, and then I glued on these leaves that you see. I really just used the hot glue gun, and I kind of hot glued them to the burlap. So really simple, really easy, and this whole wreath actually cost me $15 or maybe even less than that. So I ended up using 2.5 rolls of that burlap. I had the 6 sitting out there. I wasn't sure how much it would take. It only took 2.5, which was really awesome. So each of those at regular price was $5.99, and then I actually got them 50% off. So let's just call that 3. So 2.5, I'm going to call that, I know you guys are thinking, come on, exact math, but it wasn't exactly 2.5. So we're going to call it like $7.50 or $8. We'll just call it 8 to be even. And I got the wire frame for $1, so there's 9. And then I got these 2 bouquets, I think were $2 each. So 9 plus 4 is $13. $13 for this entire beautiful wreath. And look how nice that looks on my door. I love it. So questions, comments, feel free to like my video if you enjoyed this, and thanks for following, guys. Bye. Oh, also, check out my Etsy shop at www.etsy.com/enchantedimitations. Thanks. Bye.